This is VOA News. Reporting by remote, I'm David Byrd. Sudan's top military commander appeared to tighten his grip on power Thursday as he appointed a new governing council that he will lead 2 weeks after the military overthrew the civilian-led government. The move by General Abdel Fattah Burhan contradicts repeated promises from the military that they would hand over power to civilian authorities after seizing it in an October 25th coup. Stefan Dujarric is the UN spokesman.
We want to see a return to the transition as quickly as possible. We want to see the release from house arrest of Prime Minister Hamdok, as well as all other politicians and leaders that have been detained.
The African Union, the United Nations, and many governments have condemned the coup. The Arab League has called on the parties to abide by a 2019 constitutional document which laid out a power-sharing deal between the military and pro-democracy forces following the ouster of former President Omar al-Bashir. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres says key talks on limiting climate warming are on life support, but he still hopes the world will step up and slash greenhouse gas emissions. In an AP interview, Guterres said the talks are at a critical moment.
This agreement is addressing the key question we face at the present moment: the need to reduce emissions in the next decade.
The COP26 talks are scheduled to end Friday in Glasgow, Scotland. The head of this year's climate meeting, Alok Sharma, called on negotiators to engage in another gear shift as they try to reach agreement on outstanding issues before the COP26 talks end. This is VOA News. Members of the UN Security Council held urgent talks Thursday on the escalating migrant crisis on the Poland-Belarus border. In a joint statement, representatives of EU members of the UN Security Council, Estonia, France, Ireland, and envoys from Norway, the United Kingdom, the United States, and incoming member Albania urged an immediate halt to the crisis on the border. Sven Jurgensen is the permanent representative of Estonia.
We express deep concern at the dire situation of the migrants and urge the Belarusian authorities to provide and facilitate adequate protection and care.
EU leaders accuse the regime of Belarus President Alexander Lukashenko of opening up a new migration route into Europe to create instability in retaliation for sanctions the bloc imposed on his authoritarian government over its brutal crackdown against dissent following a disputed election. On his first Veterans Day as Commander-in-Chief, President Biden saluted those he calls the nation's soul. AP's Sagar Meghani reports.
At Arlington National Cemetery,
order! Right shoulder up!
The president saluted during a wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknowns and minutes later saluted all those who served.
You are the very spine of America.
And the nation will forever honor a solemn duty to care for them. His administration's announced a new effort to better deal with medical conditions suffered by troops deployed to toxic environments. The president suggested a potential link between his son Beau's death from an aggressive brain cancer and his exposure to burn pits in Iraq. Sagar Meghani at the White House.
Colorado's governor says all adults can get a COVID-19 booster shot. AP's Mike Gracia reports.
With coronavirus infections surging in his state, Colorado Governor Jared Polis defied federal guidance Thursday and issued an order allowing all state residents 18 and older to get COVID-19 booster shots. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration allows booster shots for those 18 and over who are at high risk of exposure to the virus, adults with special medical conditions, and all people 65 and older. The Biden administration had envisioned boosters for all adults, but in September, FDA scientific advisors rejected extra Pfizer doses for everyone. On Tuesday, Pfizer asked U.S. regulators to allow boosters of its COVID-19 vaccine for anyone 18 and older. I'm Mike Gracia.
You can find more on our website, voanews.com. You can also follow us on the VOA mobile app. Reporting by remote, I'm David